Our history books are filled with individuals who had dreams and visions of building kingdoms and empires. Think, for example, of Caesar Augustus and his dream of a Pax Romana, or of Charlemagne and his dream of a Holy Roman Empire, or of Napoleon, whose dream was to impose French language, French culture, and French rule upon all of Europe. Think as well of Queen Victoria, who dreamed of seeing the Union Jack flying on every continent and of having the strongest and most powerful navy in the world to defend the British Empire. In more recent times, think of Adolf Hitler, who sought to spread his Third Reich throughout Europe, Russia, and North Africa, and who in the process put to death millions upon millions of people. Likewise, think of Joseph Stalin. All these individuals and many others had dreams of building the perfect worldly kingdom, be it a kingdom of peace and of civilization, be it a continental or world empire united in language, culture, and law, be it a world of the master race, or a world subject to atheistic communism. Advent is a time to dream dreams. And perhaps the dreamer of the Advent season is the prophet Isaiah, who lived some 8 centuries before Christ. In this first part of the Advent season, we hear his dream time and time again of a kingdom which is to come. His home country, Judah, was being threatened by a powerful enemy, Assyria. Yet for Isaiah, the real threat to Judah came not from without, but from within. From kings who did what was evil in the sight of the Lord, and from those who put their faith in themselves rather than in God. Isaiah hoped for a ruler who would come from the family of Jesse, of the house of David, who would have the Spirit of the Lord upon him, a ruler who would establish a kingdom of the covenant, a kingdom of harmony and peace, a kingdom in which natural enemies would live together in peace, a kingdom in which the wolf would be the guest of the lamb, the cow and the bear would live side by side, and little children would play at the cobra's den. Though Isaiah's dream was never fulfilled in his lifetime, Judah would eventually fall to Assyria. His dream would be remembered, and his words give voice to the continued messianic aspirations of a people who longed for a truly royal Messiah. John the Baptist believed that this Messiah was coming very soon. And to prepare for his coming, he quotes that dreamer Isaiah. "Prepare the way of the Lord, make straight his path." How? Repent, the Baptist preaches, for God is at hand. The root meaning of the English word repent means change your mind, change your way of thinking, Turn about, return, be converted. John the Baptist was telling his listeners to turn their lives around, to return to the way of life demanded by the covenant between God and Israel. And if they didn't, they would fail to recognize the one who was to come. They would not be open to his word or to his rule. We live in a very sinful world, a divided, hate-filled world, in dire need of turning around, of changing its ways of acting and thinking. Just pick up the newspaper any day. Sunnis and Shiites kill each other in Iraq. Terrorists seek to destroy our country and hope to wreak havoc on Western countries. Palestinians and Israelis are unable to make peace with each other. North and South Korea seem to be on the verge of war. Mexican drug gangs kill thousands of innocent citizens. Lest we think that sin is somehow confined beyond our borders, think for a moment of the thousands of innocent children aborted in our country every day, of the broken marriages, the infidelity, the estranged relationships, the greed, the apathy, and yes, the violence we see around us. Think, for example, of that high school student last week in Wisconsin who threatened to kill many of his classmates only to take his own life. Dare we look a bit closer to home? What about ourselves? Of what do we need to repent? Jealousy, backbiting, greed, cheating, an unwillingness to forgive? What about addiction to pornography, to gambling, to alcohol, to work? What about our own apathy or an unwillingness to place others before myself? Yes, our history books are filled with individuals who had dreams of building empires and kingdoms. The kingdom of which we as Christians dream, however, is not a kingdom of coercion or fear or of division or intimidation, but a kingdom of truth and life, a kingdom of holiness and grace, a kingdom of justice, love, and peace. Such a kingdom will remain only a fanciful dream unless each of us hears anew the message of the Baptist and take his message to heart. To be converted, to repent, to turn my life around, to change my old ways of thinking and acting, to produce that good fruit of which the Baptist spoke, by opening ourselves to truly living in the Spirit. Spend Advent like this. Spend your whole life like this, and you will help usher in the fullness of God's kingdom. Such was the dream of Isaiah. Such is the dream of Advent. We have, as you know, with us today 24 young men and women who have heard the preaching of the Baptist, and it has touched their hearts. They have heard the voice of God inviting them to be converted, to change their ways of thinking and acting about what truly matters in life, and to change their lives by following Christ in a new way as Catholic Christians. 8 of them by being baptized, and 16 of them already baptized by either being admitted into full communion with the Catholic Church or by completing their initiation as Catholic Christians. I invite them now to complete the initial rites of their formal welcome into this community of faith. May their words and actions invite each of us to reflect on how we might respond to the Baptist's message to make ready the way of the Lord and to clear him a straight path into our own hearts.